Now, the name of the sculpture is called Father Massenet's Table. It was placed here back in 1991 to commemorate a mass that was conducted by Father Damien Massenet on June 13th, 1691.
San Antonio Riverwalk.
Now, when the missionaries passed this area back in 1691, it was on the feast day of San Antonio. They named the river and eventually the city in his honor.
There's ducks and pigeons.
As we slowly make our way beneath Navarre Street Bridge, where the bridge now stands, this was once the location of the old Nat Lewis Mill. Now, back in the mid-1800s, when you needed grain ground into flour, this was the destination everybody had to travel to get the job done. Also in the 1800s, this section of the river was the most used wagon crossing in all of San Antonio because it was shallow, flat, and hard-packed. It allowed the wagons to cross without having to worry about unloading and reloading their cargo. A little hard to see with the sun, but straight ahead, past the bridge, the only building in front of us, that's the Bexar County Courthouse. The courthouse has been in business since 1896. It's made out of granite block, veneered with red sandstone. It's actually one of the oldest continuously operating courthouses in all of Texas. Now, this building on my left-hand side with the American flag is Tower Life Building. The octagon-shaped tower distinguishes itself from all other high structures in the United States. It stands 30 stories high, 404 feet tall. It's decorated with gargoyles at the very, very top, and you can even see grotesque faces along the second-floor windows. This building opened up June 1st, 1929. Now, opposite of Tower Life, on my right, we have this industrial-looking building. This is the Homewood Suites Hotel. If the Homewood Suites doesn't look very warm or welcoming, that's because the building started out as the San Antonio Drug Company from 1919 to 1963. Now, these guys got remodeled back in 1995 to become the Homewood Suites. That's a very good example of the adaptive use of an old building. Now, also on my right, we have the International Center. The center used to be our public library from 1968 to 1998. Now, today, the center houses businesses for the United States, Canada, Mexico, as well as the San Antonio Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'll be following my buddy up ahead out of Floodgate 4. Now, Gate 4 has a crest-shaped design that could act as a dam. It could come out of the water like a drawbridge, or act as a passage gate when lowered beneath the surface of the water. The green line above it tells us that it's safe to pass over right now. It actually has nothing to do with the traffic on the river. The natural flow of the river travels left of Floodgate 4. It travels 138 miles southeast of here, joining the Guadalupe River, and flowing 10 miles further into the Gulf of Mexico. About 200 yards down it, there's a 10-foot drop and continues on. So we're not going that way. This section of the river is called the Flood Bypass Control Channel. Now, back in September of 1921, a severe storm came over the San Antonio River and the Olmos Basin. The flooding down here was so intense, the water rose 4 feet above the guardrails on the bridges ahead of us. Now, there was over $1 million in property damage and 50 people lost their lives down here. Now, since the incident occurred, the city of San Antonio came together with the Army Corps of Engineers to come up with a plan for flood management. Now, their studies showed that by straightening out the river and isolating the river bend would help greatly in managing any potential future flood thereafter. So from 1926 to 1929, they ended up cutting out all of the earth from underneath us in this section of the river to straighten it out more. At one point, we were level with the streets right here. Now, by doing this, they did achieve their goal. They managed the water levels a lot better. But now we're officially 17 to 20 feet deep right here. This is the deepest it gets out of all of the Riverwalk. Everywhere else is usually under 5 feet deep. The walkway all along my right-hand side on water level is a gift from the Joy Plaza Hotel. The walkway measures 611 feet in length. It puts the Riverwalk in a loop that's easier to navigate on foot now. On the left-hand side, you can see Main Plaza. Main Plaza was established in 1731 as the first municipality of Texas. Now they got a makeover back in 2008 with the help of private donations combined with people's investments. The project was called the People's Plaza. They have activities 7 days a week for the whole family. We are slowly but safely going to be entering Floodgate 3 coming up on my right. Now, Floodgate 3 is a chain-driven gate. The door is housed above the wall. The door itself weighs approximately 3 tons. It takes 15 minutes to completely open or close, and it works alongside gates 4 and 5 to manage the water levels inside the river bend. Now the building on my left-hand side, this is the Drury Inn and Suites Hotel. The Drury Inn and Suites opened up back in 1921 as a city public service building. Now in a few moments you're going to see some big windows appearing at the Drury Inn and Suites. If you look through these windows, you'll be able to see chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. When that massive flood passed through here, the water actually rose above those chandeliers, almost going to the next floor above. That's how much damage there was. Now, instead of giving up on the building, they fixed it up and added 3 more floors to the structure of it back in 1927. And by the mid-1950s, the building was bought and remodeled with commercial offices. It took on the new name, Petroleum Commerce Building. Now, coming up on my right, we have the second of our 3 tour locations, the Aztec Theater, identifiable with the Aztec sculpture on top, sticking its tongue out at you lovely people. The Aztec opened up back in 1926 as a silent movie theater. Now, sadly, it is the last Aztec-themed theater left in Texas. They don't show movies here anymore, but they do live performances from bands from all over the country. We've had Los Lonely Boys play out here to AWOL Nation. Even Danzig performed out here not too long ago. Also on my right, next to the Aztec, we have this cream-colored building. Now this is the Mocara Hotel and Spa. The Mocara started out as the L. Frank Saddle and Harness Company from 1901 to 1923. Now during the outbreak of World War I, L. Frank was only staffed with 500 employees. Yet together, they still managed to fill out the orders for the Allied forces. Now he became known nationwide by 1918. The building all along my left-hand side, this is La Mansión del Rio Hotel. Believe it or not, this hotel started out as St. Mary's School for Boys back in 1853. The school slowly evolved into St. Mary's Law School. When they outgrew themselves, they moved to West San Antonio. Now, the building was bought and remodeled in the mid-60s. They opened in 1968 as La Posada Hotel, later changing it once again to La Mansión del Rio. Okay, my new friends, as soon as we come out from underneath this bridge, as soon as you can look straight up into the sky, my high left, do so. The first building on the left gives off an optical illusion that looks like a freestanding wall. So if you get that camera, I might want to get it ready. This awesome looking building is the Knicks Hospital. Now, the Knicks opened up back in the 1930s. It was San Antonio's first full-service hospital, as well as the nation's first fully air-conditioned hospital. Now, the staff was able to provide you with anything from a Band-Aid to major surgery. This was a very revolutionary step in healthcare back in the 1930s. We are slowly approaching the Hyatt Regency Hotel. It's the building just past the bridge. Now, the Hyatt opened for business back in 1981. As you get closer to the front of the Hyatt, you'll see two sets of double doors coming into better view right now. If you look carefully above both doors, you'll see a sign above each that introduces you to the passage to the Alamo. If you were to follow the beautiful atrium inside the Hyatt, it'll take you to Alamo Square as well as the Alamo Museum. Coming into view on my right, you'll see a building with an Easter egg tower top. Now, this is the Casino Club building. This building was built by the German business community in the Art Deco style of architecture. Their doors opened up back in 1927 as a private club. Now, as of today, they're not that private. The first 2 floors are used as restaurants and shops. The 4 floors above that are apartments.
It's the Rainforest Cafe over here.
This section of the Riverwalk is called River Square. River Square is going to provide you folks with a variety of restaurants with inside as well as riverside dining.